This lesson is on finding the percent of a number. We're going to discuss two different methods for finding a percent. The first method we are going to discuss is method number one is to change the percent into a decimal. To do that, that's the first step. The second step is to multiply the decimal by a number. You notice we have here, it says 0.7% of 392. Now, you might notice that is already a decimal. Well, even if it's already a decimal, if it has a percent sign to it, you need to actually turn it into a decimal that you can use mathematically. So I'm going to write that down here, 0.7. Now, we know that we need to move it two places to the left, simulating the hundredths. Notice that if you have a decimal, this is the tenths place, this is the hundredths place. So by moving a decimal two places to the left, so if you have the number 1, and you know you have an invisible decimal here, you move it 1, 2, and put it here. That puts this number, whatever number this is, or these two numbers, if there are two numbers here, it puts it in the hundredths place because it is in the second position here after the decimal. So we're going to do that over here with 0.7. So I'm going to take my decimal, move it 2 places, and I'm going to put my decimal there and a placeholder. So that gives me 0.007. Alright, James Bond is going to solve this math problem because we have 0.007 here. And we know in math language that of means something. It means one of the 4 operations, and we know, by now we should, that means multiplication. So when it says 7% of 0.7% of 392, what they're actually asking you to do is multiply 7%, by which means you have to change it to a decimal, 7.7% times 392. So I'm going to write the 392 here. So we can do that. 392 times 0.007, and 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 1 is 64. And 7 times 3 is 21, plus 6 is 27. And we have 3 decimals. Now, because 0 times all of these numbers is going to be 0, I don't really need to spend my time multiplying times 0. I could just use my decimal place, there's 3 decimal places. I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. So our decimal goes right here. So 2.744. 2 and 744 thousandths. So 0.7% of 392 is 2 and 744 thousandths. And that's all you have to do when it gives you a percent of a number. You change it to a decimal, then multiply, and whatever your answer is, there you are. Alright, let me erase this and we will show you another problem here. Method number 2. Method number 2, it says to write the percent as a ratio over 100 and to write the number as part of the ratio and to solve the proportion. Well, we've shown you this before, and I'll write it right here, where that part to whole equals percent of 100. All right, we've seen that before, so let's try that. Part to whole percent of 100. Now, we know the percent is 25. 25 over 100. And we know the 24, we know that's the whole because they want to know how much of 24. So 24 is the whole. So I'm going to write that right here, 24. And we don't know what this is. X over 24, what part of 24 is 25%? Again, let me say that again. 25% or 25 100ths is what part of 24? Let's go back to what we were saying here about 25% being a fraction. It is a part of a number. Decimals, fractions, and percents are all parts of numbers. So what part of 24 is what they're asking, is 25%. So we can cross multiply this. 100 times x is 100 times x. We don't know the solution for that yet because we don't know what x is. Equals 24 times 25. So let's put that there. 24 times 25. And let's multiply 24 times 25. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 2, and we need a placeholder down here. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 120 plus 480. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 8 is 10. And 4 plus 1 is 6. So 600. So 100 times x equals 600.